If a traumatic injury were to happen to you or a loved one, would you know what to do? Ryan Armstrong is an emergency medical technician who's here to show us how we can help stop the bleed when an accident happens. Welcome, Ryan.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I think it's such an important topic to talk about, so I'm excited that we're learning how to stop the bleed. But Ryan, with your expertise as an EMT, you decided to work with a program called Stop the Bleed. Could you tell us more about it?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm so excited to be here promoting Stop the Bleed. This is actually a national campaign to promote education and awareness to help save lives. Locally, Capital City CPR has started to provide Stop the Bleed courses so that people can achieve those same goals here in Sacramento, saving lives.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we're doing that and learning everything we can. So why is this program important? Who would benefit from this type of training?
So Desiree, in the United States, the #1 cause of death for people under 46 years old is traumatic injury. Here in Sacramento, the average age is 35.
Wow.
So this is a community that would absolutely be benefited by understanding these treatments.
All right, and we have some props here. I mean, can you teach us any life-saving skills this morning?
Absolutely, yeah. So if we imagine, first of all, what would constitute life-threatening bleeding, typically an injury that has lots of blood leaving the body, maybe even spurting or spraying blood. It can look really scary. Stop the Bleed gives us 3 very specific treatments to get started. One treatment we always have access to is direct pressure. That's typically thought of as creating a lot of pressure at the site of an injury, ideally even with maybe both hands, elbows locked, really pushing. If you have something even like as simple as a cotton t-shirt, you could add that on there, direct pressure. Why don't you give that a try?
Okay, let me try.
Okay.
Put the pressure
direct pressure.
on it.
Now, another treatment we have access to, if direct pressure is not quite enough, for example, for a really deep injury, we might need to actually pack some material into that wound.
Okay.
So this is Quick Clot. It's a hemostatic dressing. This is designed for going inside the injury. Oh my gosh, we're going inside. We're stopping bleeding deep down inside that injury. This would work anywhere other than on our torso. We're packing deep. Why don't you give that a little shot?
I'll give it a try. I didn't know you'd do this.
You got it, yeah.
I'm using the nails a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah. So the idea is with enough material packed in there, we can then, again, apply direct pressure, hopefully stopping some bleeding there. The last treatment we have is called a tourniquet.
Classic.
This is known as a CAT tourniquet. This is an incredibly effective tool because it works quickly to stop bleeding. People can bleed to death in 3 to 5 minutes.
Wow.
In the United States, the average 911 response time is 7 to 15 minutes, meaning it's up to us to stop bleeding. So if we open up a tourniquet like this, it's a big Velcro strap. You see the red tab. All we need to do is put this around the limb, ideally closer to the heart, right? It has to be upstream of where they're bleeding. We can tighten this down around their body, get it nice and snug, really make sure all the slack is out of that Velcro strap. And then we have something called a windlass. So
what's that?
This windlass is designed to be twisted. As this is twisting, what you see is it's creating mechanical advantage to get tighter and tighter. Once we have no more bleeding, maybe even no more pulse below the tourniquet, we have it tight enough that we can then remember to write down what time it went on.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and now we've effectively stopped bleeding. This, of course, would be best utilized in a limb. Wouldn't work too well on our torso or head or neck.
Yeah, all important things to know. I mean, I've never been around when there's a traumatic injury happening, but I'm glad you showed us because it really shows like how you kind of need to be forceful with it, not kind of being hesitant or shy about it.
I tell my students first aid isn't usually fun for the patients, unfortunately.
Yeah, the goal is just to stop the bleed, like you were highlighting.
Now, if you wanted to carry some of these tools, Stop the Bleed actually makes little first aid kits. You can visit stopthebleedcoalition.org and you can learn about more information. You can also purchase first aid kits that have the Quick Clot, they have a CAT tourniquet, all of the things that we just practiced. And if you wanted more training, you could visit stopthebleedcoalition.org, or here locally in Sacramento, you can check out capitalcitycpr.com, capcitycpr.com, for local courses here in Sacramento.
Yeah, and I have one quick question for you. If someone's a little fearful of blood, but they're in the situation where they need to help someone, what would you say?
Absolutely. I think let's go back to our first treatment where direct pressure is really an effective tool that we can always create. You could even do that with your eyes closed if you needed to, right? Yep.
Good to know. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This was very helpful. And
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to teach people how to stop the bleed.